Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Simone Nicole, back at it again with another video. So for this video, I actually wanted to introduce a series that I've been wanting to start on my channel, and that will be my Girl Boss series. So I consider myself to be a girl boss. I was an actual boss for a company for a while there, and I hustle a lot to get the things that I want, so I do consider myself to be a girl boss, because if I want it, I got it. Or if I don't got it, then I'm gonna make it happen. I'm starting this series so that women can learn how to boss up mentally and how to think of themselves as a boss and act accordingly. So I think that it's all in your mindset. You boss up in your mindset, and it is affected in your work ethic and how you treat others and all of those things. So this first installment is actually going to be sort of a testimony in a way, but it's also going to be the entire point of the video is to help you all understand how powerful your mindset is in getting you to where you want to be and attracting things into your life, whether positive or negative. So this entire video came about because of a sequence of events that happened in the past 48 hours. So I started off the day going to work, and that was normal, and then I went to the dentist's office, and my appointment was at 11 o'clock, and I got there maybe like 15 or 20 minutes early because I came straight from work and it didn't take me long to get there. And I ended up being there for 2 hours. And in that 2 hours, I found out that I have to have 4 of my wisdom teeth pulled. And keep in mind, I didn't go in there to talk about getting my teeth pulled. I went in there to talk about starting Invisalign. I went in there to talk about Invisalign, and I came out finding out that I need to get all 4 of my wisdom teeth pulled, and I have a baby tooth that I didn't know about that never came down that I need to get removed. So that's 5 teeth in total. Now I am blessed enough to be on my mother's insurance, so that means that my insurance is going to cover a portion of it. The operation itself is going to cost $4,000, and after my mom's insurance, it's going to cost me just over $1,000. So that was kind of hard to take in, because I need to work on my teeth, and just like, because my face overall is my brand, it's what I'm selling, so you can't have a mouth of like messed up teeth if you're going to try to be an actor. So I know I need to take care of this before I get kicked off my mom's dental insurance. So it was really hard to hear that I needed to pay $1,000 out of pocket to get my teeth fixed, and then on top of that, the appointment took 2 hours. And I don't know about you all, but to go in just to inquire about something, I didn't anticipate it taking 2 hours, but it did. So I ended up rushing to my next job, and I was supposed to be in my next job at 1 o'clock. And when I left the dentist's office, I had 15 minutes to be there, and it would have took me maybe 18 or 20 minutes to get there realistically. So I'm rushing, and I'm speeding down the highway, and who do I pass? A policeman. So I passed a policeman going 83 miles an hour on the freeway, which was the speed limit was 60 miles an hour. And he pulled me over, and he was really nice, but he was just like, I can't let you go knowing that you went 23 miles over the speed limit. Like, that's just a bit excessive. So then I got a speeding ticket. So then I got to my next job, and I got all of my packages to deliver, and I was driving, and I was still in such a pissy mood while I was delivering my packages, and I stopped to get gas at this random place on the other side of town of where I'm from. And maybe 20 minutes later, I was getting off the freeway, and I pulled off, and I looked in my rearview mirror, and a big, huge puff of white smoke came out of my exhaust tank. So I was immediately stressed out, because I'm like, why is there smoke coming out of my exhaust tank like that? And then to add insult to injury, my car started sputtering, and it wouldn't pick up speed. And I kept on hearing this ticking noise coming from, it sounded like it was from the back of my car, but it was probably under my hood. and I don't know much about cars, so I called my brother-in-law freaking out because I did not want to get stuck on the complete. I was 45 minutes away from home. I really didn't want to get stuck with 45 minutes with traffic away from home. And I really didn't want to get stuck over there, and it was 4:30, so that means I'm in the middle of rush hour, and my towing company is not with it, and they would have had me out there for a good 2-3 hours waiting on them to come get me. So I really didn't want my car to break down, and I was just like, of course today when I find out I have to pay out $1,000 for my teeth, I get a speeding ticket for going 23 miles over the speed limit. Now I'm having car issues. So I call my brother. He tells me, like, it sounds like you just need a tune-up. We'll go tomorrow, we'll get it taken care of. So I get home by the actual grace of God because my check engine light started blinking. And what do while I'm sitting in traffic? I have the bright idea to Google what it means when your check engine light starts blinking. And you know the internet is so extra. So they told me that
the check engine light blinking means it's a serious business. You have to get to the shop right away. Your car might blow up.
And so I literally like threw my phone and I was like, well, I'm blow up. Like, but I just didn't need to hear that at the time. And it was just, my mood was so low, so negative, so woe is me, so not me at all. I was in such a pissy freaking mood. And so I got home and my boyfriend tried to talk to me, didn't want to talk to him. My mom tried to talk to me, didn't really want to talk to her either. The nieces came over, didn't want to talk to nobody. So I'm sitting and I'm scrolling and I'm going through people's stories on Instagram, and I was going through my friend Adolphus's Instagram, and I saw him post this picture, and I'll put it in the screen. The post said, easy to spot a yellow car when you're always thinking of a yellow car. Easy to spot opportunity when you're always thinking of opportunity. Easy to spot reasons to be mad when you're always thinking of reasons to be mad. You become what you consistently think. Watch yourself. And after I read that, I was just like, wow, I really need to see that was right on time, because I'm manifesting so much negativity right now. And when I was like in such a negative and like just poopy mindset overall, what was happening to me? A bunch of negative things. So I decided in that moment, I'm about to go back over my day and think of all the reasons why today was actually a great day. If I'm talking about the dentist's office, first of all, I'm blessed to have insurance. I'm blessed to be on a plan where out of $4,000 I gotta pay $1,000, 75% of it was covered by my mom's insurance company. People don't have insurance, period, like for medical reasons. And I'm complaining because 75% of this was covered by my insurance company. That's a W right there. Then if I'm thinking about paying this $1,000, they said that I could make installment payments. And so I was like, okay, let's see how much it would be. Even if I only can make like 2 payments, like I could really hustle and make the 1 payment, but it would be easier for me to make like 2 or 3 payments. So she was like, okay, well, let's look into seeing if we can get you approved for, it's essentially a loan where they'll pay for the operation up front and then you have so much time to pay it off. So I gave the lady all my information and she said, wow, they approved you right away, and they approved you for a lot more than I had anticipated. You must have really good credit. And I was like, I mean, I do, but it just felt good hearing it and being validated. And I think like it's probably not that hard to get approved, but I think that she was impressed because I am so young and I'm doing this all by myself. Like my mom's a single mom, she has her own bills, she has her own things, so I'm not gonna ask her to help me pay to get my wisdom teeth out. Like that's just not something I'm gonna do. So she was really impressed also that I'm doing this by myself, ran my credit, my background, and I got approved for a lot more than she thought. So I thought, like, that's really, really nice that I'm in a position where I have that option open to me to make 24 payments, 3 payments, whatever I gotta do, but I have that option. So that was another win. Now, when we're talking about getting pulled over, of course I was salty, and I really can't blame the officer. I was going 23 miles over the speed limit. I've gotten pulled over more times than I can count, honestly, and I've only ever gotten tickets for things that the officer could not give me a ticket for. My last ticket was for speeding in 2016, and I was going 20 some odd miles over the speed limit, like almost the exact same situation. I was rushing to get somewhere and I was going 23 miles over the speed limit, and the officer was cool or whatever, but he couldn't let me go because I was going 20 some odd miles over the speed limit. So that's my fault, and I think it's a lesson that I need to learn about not being such a late person. Even though the circumstances of me being late this time around was something that I couldn't control, I just need to work on just not having to rush everywhere and always being like right on time, or like late, or 10 minutes later, or an hour later, whatever it may be. I do need to learn how to be a more timely person, especially with the business that I'm trying to get into. And I really didn't even care much about the price of the ticket. Like, things come up, you can pay for, like I could pay for the price of the ticket. The problem was that I just didn't want it to be reported to my insurance company because I'm already young. I do not need another speeding ticket on my record, because apparently in Ohio it takes like 3 or 4 years for something to drop off your record. So the same ticket that I got when I was 19 is the same ticket that's still on my record right now. So I called my friend Amber, and she told me, like, she works at Progressive, and she was like, you'll be okay as long as they haven't pulled your information from the BMV yet. So she said, as long as they haven't sent you a renewal request, then you'll be good. So I looked and I saw that they had literally just pulled one month ago. And when they pulled it, of course this ticket wasn't on there because I just got it 2 days ago. So I am good until September. But of course, that's not enough for me. That blessing is fine, but I'm the type of person, when I want something, I'm gonna get it, and that's it, that's all. So I started Googling ways to make sure that a speeding ticket didn't hit your record, and I found out that you can take these defensive driving classes, and they'll basically be like a 2-point like cushion for you. So say you take the class, you get a speeding ticket, once you pay it, and paying it is an admission of guilt, the speeding ticket will never hit your record because you have that 2-point cushion. So I called the lady at the office where my ticket is, and I was like, hi, so I got a ticket, and she asked for my ticket number. She called me by my name, really nice lady. And I was nice back because I feel her, she probably has a pretty difficult job working somewhere where she has to communicate with people about their tickets all the time. So I was super nice to her because I worked in retail for years. So if you're trying to get something from somebody, don't be mean to them. Just pro tip. So she was telling me about, like, yeah, you can take the classes, but I'll call and clarify. And I was like, yeah, I'll call them, and they told me that the class is at this time, it will cost this much. But my question for you is, how do I avoid the ticket hitting my record so that I can have that cushion already on my license, and then the ticket won't hit it all? And she was like, well, what you would have to do, she gave me a specific date, a specific time to mail it in after, in order to buy myself time so that it wouldn't have to be reported to the BMV, which was already sweet in and of itself. But then she was like, wait, do you still live in Athens? Because my driver's license says that I live in Athens because I graduated from OU last year. And I was like, no, I don't live in Athens anymore. I actually live in another suburb in Cleveland. And she was like, listen to me, and I'm only gonna say this once. Since you live 4 hours away, the judge is not going to make you drive all the way back up here just to fight a speeding ticket. So what you're gonna do is write him a letter and tell him that you are sorry for what you did, and explain the situation to him why you were speeding, and then ask him to reduce it to, I think it's called an operational violation. I have it written down in my planner, wherever my planner is. I have it written down in there. But she told me that asked him to reduce it to that, and she said mail in $240, and the ticket itself would have been $185, so it's not much more. And she said then you will be all good. And I was like, but wait, like an operational violation, like, does that not get reported to the insurance company? And she was like, nope, it does not get reported at all. And I was like, but wait, this sounds too good to be true. So like, what if he says no? And she was like, in the 1% chance that he says no, then we'll give you a call and we'll deal with it. But she was like, but you're fine. Just mail in your money, give him a letter, explain the situation, reiterate that you're a college student, and that'll be it. And she was like, if you have any problems, then call. Just tell him you talked to, let's name her Rebecca, because I'm not trying to get my girl in trouble. So she was like, just tell him that call here and ask to speak to Rebecca and we'll talk about it. I said, if that ain't the Lord, I don't know what is. I literally don't know what is. I've never heard of somebody being that nice before, because I was literally in between. I didn't even know I was in the city that I was in, but I was in between like a bougie city and if I would have called them, they would have been like, well, you were speeding, I don't know what to tell you kind of city. So the fact that I landed in that jurisdiction, got that lady, and she gave me this advice to now where I have to pay a little more, but it won't go on my record, so my insurance won't go up. I was just like, you know what? Why am I being so negative? And then, so that's the speeding ticket. So now let's talk about my car. So I was all upset about my car, and when I was with my brother-in-law and they took it to the guy, they were both looking at it and they were like, where'd you say you got gas again? Because all of this started after I got my gas. And I told them and they were like, you probably just got some bad gas. That's probably what it was. I was like, I do put the same type of gas in my car literally every single time I fill up. I go to Sam's Club. No exceptions, no ifs, ands, or buts. I always go to Sam's Club, or I'm getting my gas on my side of town. I live in the suburbs. And he was like, yeah, you probably just put some bad gas in your car. And I still was having problems with my car because every time I would fill it up, it wouldn't start after I put gas in it. So I called the place where I usually get my stuff done. They were able to take me right away. And at the end of me getting it done, he came and he was like, so we're putting your engine back together. We're putting the cover back over your engine, but we hear that there's acorns rolling around in here. And I was like, what? And he was like, what that likely means is that there was like some type of rodent. It's so gross. There's some type of rodent living inside of your car is likely what happened, which is so gross. And I was like, well, how did it survive? And he was like, probably runs in after you park because it's warm in there and it has food in there, and it probably runs out as soon as you start it. And I was like, just take it all out. Take it all out. The cost of me getting my car fixed was just over $200. And not only is that not bad, because I thought it was going to be so much worse. Like when you see smoke, thick white smoke, when your car's hesitating, when your engine is blinking, when your check engine light is blinking, you think the actual worst. And I only had to pay $200. In addition to that $200, it didn't break me. If this was last year, that $200, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Around this time last year, I got a boot on my car and my boyfriend and my mom had to bail me out because I genuinely just didn't have the money. So the fact that this year I can say, take this $200 cash that I did not take from my savings account, that I did not have to do a cash advance on my credit card, cash, here's $200, take it. This is cool. Like, I'm so unbelievably blessed, so blessed. And if I wasn't getting enough of a dose of humbleness, my friend from college, Raven, she graduated a couple years ago, she hit me up, and I don't think that she realizes how on time she was. A little like background to what I'm about to tell y'all. The last video that I posted didn't do very well. And I thought about making my videos shorter, like I would have a better engagement because it wouldn't require people to watch it for as long. But that didn't work out that way, and I was just really disappointed because I really enjoyed making it and I thought it was going to do well, and then it really didn't. So I was all down on myself about that, and she hit me up, and she consistently watches my videos like all the time. And she was like, she tagged me in this post on Facebook, and then I texted her about it, and I'll actually just read what she texted me and told me. She said, hey girl, I'm so happy I watched your story yesterday because I have this little girl in my class and she's so violent. She fights like once a month and she just doesn't like people, and I think I may be the only teacher that she gets along with. And she was telling me today about how she doesn't like the way that she looks because all her siblings are light-skinned with long hair. I thank God I watched her story because I was able to tell her about how important her hair actually is. And to make matters worse, she had box braids and one of them fell out when she was dancing today and she was embarrassed. I think that once I told her the story, her eyes lit up, and And then her and I think 3 more little brown girls in the class got so excited, and she was like, I can't wait to go home and tell my mom. And I was like, thank God I watched your story, because a lot of times I don't know how to teach and all my kids are black, and you know that they're so insecure. And I was just like, wow, she was right on time with that one. So thanks for helping me and them. You're amazing, and I love every bit of the skin you are in. I don't think that you all like realize how much it meant to me to hear her say that I had made someone in her class feel better. And like, sorry if I get emotional, the fact that she was able to tell this little girl about my story and about my hair, and that she was able to feel better about herself, that means so much to me, because the whole reason that I want to get into the business that I do, and the reason why I want to do things I want to do, is because when I was growing up, I didn't have anybody to look at that looked like me and that I could say was considered beautiful. And even if it's just 3 little girls from a town that I'm not from, it means so much to me that she was able to tell them about themselves and their hair and why it's beautiful. And that was like the moment where I was getting so down about so many things, and they were all over things that are like so normal. Like, everybody has like issues with like their teeth and they end up having to pay more, or everybody gets pulled over, everybody has car issues. But I was letting myself get so down, and all of these things and all of these ways of thinking just really came together. And I genuinely think that because I was choosing to be more positive and to look at these things in a more positive light, that I was able to attract that positivity. And like I said, Raven doesn't understand how on time she was with that one, and it just made me feel so encouraged and so reinvigorated. So that is basically my lesson that I wanted to give you all about why it is so important to have a positive mindset when you go into things, and when you think about things, and the second that you start to get down and woe is me, you have to change your mindset, because your mindset is literally everything. Whew, that is all for today. I hope that you all enjoyed the first installment of my Girl Boss series. I really enjoyed making it. I have a few more ideas for things that I want to talk about, but if you have any questions or any remarks or any suggestions, make sure that you comment and engage down below and just talk to me. In addition to that, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out so much. We're growing slowly, but we are growing. So I appreciate every single one of you that take the time to watch this video. Remember to keep positivity in your life, because positivity breeds positivity, and we have no time for negativity in 2019. See you on the next one.